to the Americans, or he was Japanese, but to the Europeans and the Japanese, he was American. So he had that sort of dichotomy in him. There's a certain tension, a certain conflict, I think, because you don't know what you are. And depending on where you are, it sort of changes your identity a little bit. So that could be why his painting has such diversity. He was Kibe. He was born in Ogden, Utah, went back when he was 3 and raised by his grandparents in Hiroshima, Japan. They would have art classes, an hour a day. He said he was tired of drawing the cherry blossoms, and so he had found some American magazines. So he had copied some of the pinup girls or whatever. And then he came here, but because he had dual citizenship, he sort of got drafted into the US Army. And then he was part of the 442nd. He actually had his first one-man show in the Army. He's just a master with the brush. With pen and ink, with pencil. If he was working in a certain media, he knew what that medium could do and could not do, and he worked within it. If he was doing an oil painting, there was certain ways that you worked with the paint. And when he was using acrylic and doing a stain or a flow painting, there was a different technique he'd use. It's like a relationship. You talk to different people differently, because you know that there's a certain understanding or a certain way to communicate with that person to make that relationship happen. He had a soft spot for Los Angeles' Japanese community, because he had come here when he was young, and he would go eat udon in Japanese town or Little Tokyo. After he had sort of made some name for himself as an artist, he would be contacted by all these different artists in the community. So they would always look to him, oh, Kanemitsu sensei this, or call him for that. So he was very much connected with the Japanese community at that time. He was always an advocate for the artist and always wanted the community to support their artists more, especially the young artists, to encourage them, because he saw that as sort of a lack, that the parents wanted them to become professionals, a doctor, a lawyer, or not an artist. I think because of what happened with the war and with camp, I don't know that the Japanese American community was secure enough to say, okay, go, it's your passion, go, do it. In this sort of realm, it's like if it makes you feel good, it really uplifts your energy, gives good vibrations out to the universe. And so that's why it's important that your kids study art or music or things like that, because it's just a necessary thing to make our society better. And I think that was his sort of philosophy.